What's up, family? It's your girl Tina. Come on, tell them thank you. Yes, so it's time for you all for me to create a winter journal. So you know I do my journals 3 months at a time by the season. So this will be my winter journal, and I thought I'll come in and put it together with you all. This is the pad that I'm using out of the vault. That's one of my things this year. I want to open up the vault and use things in the vault. So I saw this paper pad, never seen it ever again. Been looking for it and looking for it and looking for it so that I could use this one. Never could find it. So I decided I'm going to open it up today and we're going to create a journal out of it. Love this paper stack right here. All right. And then I found this, you all, at the secondhand store for 50 cents. And I decided to use some of that today in this journal. All right, so we're going to bind the journal. Now, what I did do is I went on and selected the sheets that I was going to use. I did go ahead on and cut them out. So all of my journals are 8 1/4 by 10 inches. Okay, which gives me 8 1/4 by 5 when I fold it and bind it together, which I love that size. All right, so let's get started. The first thing is I'm going to show you all the sheets that I decided to use. This is one of them. I love this right here. Tell your story, journey, smile for the camera, enjoy the ride. I just love it. I like the ruler, measurement rulers on there. I just like the colors. And so let me say that this journal, you all, is going to be more of a vintage versus what I did last year for winter. It was more of the blues and the whites and the coldness of winter. This year is going to be a warm winter journal, and it's going to be more on the vintage side. All right, so I chose this sheet. Love all those colors. As you can see, I still got a hint of blue running through there. It's like 2 different tones in this collection of blue. Here's a sheet that I absolutely love. I love that. That is so vintage. I love this right here. All of the collage, the music, the tickets. Y'all know I love tickets. All right, I chose this one. In this sheet, you can see the variations of the blues. So we still do have that winter feel, but it's a warm winter feel. Now, you do realize that winter is going to cover January, February, and March. Absolutely love this sheet. The red cameras, the blue cameras, the gold cameras. I love this sheet. One of my favorites. So in this journal, we'll cover January, the new year, new things. February, we'll be covering Black History, Dr. King, things like that. And then you do know in February, we also, you know, celebrate or recognize Valentine's love, and so that's also in the winter months. So it'll be a lot of things going on, and I said that to say these colors, this is another shade of a blue, but it's more of a warm blue, very vintage. We will have the shades of pink and red running throughout this winter journal as well. So we will cover all the winter events. We're just going to do it on a warmer tone. Love this collage sheet. The cars, the clocks, the finger, the telephones. I love this. This paper pad is so cool to me. Love this right here. So this is what I'm talking about. We'll still bring in that red and the pink, the yellow for Valentine's, the love month of February. And I love this right here, which this is going to be our cover. Love, love, love. So I chose these sheets. Of course, these are the 2 calligraphy sheets that I took out that we're going to use. So let's bind this together. So what do? Here's the process. So I have all my sheets in the order in which I want to place them. The first thing I'm going to do, after cutting down my size, you're going to fold them in half. Okay, make that crease, because in the fold is where we will be doing the binding. Okay, I already got the thread and the needle ready over here, and I like to put my stuff in order. I know some people like to journal and then at the end they bind it. I find that more difficult for me. I'd rather go ahead on and bind it and then let it get bulky as it goes, because I know everything is already in place. It's a struggle. I've tried it to journal first and then bind it. It was just hard for me. So that's not a method that I use. However, if you watch Bree, what is Bree's channel? Documented Journey. She did her December daily that way, where she journaled all of her pages, put everything in place what she wanted, and then she's going to bind it at the end. So there's various ways that you can do your binding. It's really up to you. It's your decision. For me, I like to bind and then journal. Okay, so we're going to just simply fold all of these up. So arrange your papers in the order that you would like them in. Now, another thing that you will learn from me, and I've mentioned this before, I like to have a print on my paper. Some people like to do blank journals where they have to create a background, put whatever color they want. Well, for me, I'm the opposite. I find it more enjoyable to have printed paper as my pages already, some type of design, and then I create on top of it. Okay, and keep in mind, if you do want to have a blank page or two in your journal, you could always cover this up with a blank sheet of white paper, or you can go in and use what you call gesso and gesso this out and create your own background. It's various ways, but for me, I find it more interesting and more enjoyable to have printed scrapbook paper as my base for my journals. All right, so this is what we have right here. It's already folded. Now we're going to go in and we're going to fold these sheets up, right? And then I'm going to place those where I want them to be. Now in my journal this time, I decided that I want to have a pocket. So I'm taking this sheet, make sure I varnish really well, and I'm going to create a pocket with this this sheet right here. Okay, so all you're doing is simply just folding over, right? That's all you're doing. Varnish that really good. Okay, this is it. Now this will go into my middle of my journal. Okay, so I want that just like that, so I'm placing that there. This sheet is going to go over like this to make a fold out, okay, on each side. It's your decision on, so this will fold, okay, like that. Does that make sense? All right, so now let me place this where I want it to be. Again, you want to place everything in place where you want it, and then you're ready to bind. Okay, so this will go right there. Okay, now as you can see, I can see that little edge, so I'm going to cut that off. Get my trimmer, cut that off a little bit. Okay, Now let's see what we have. Put that back in the center. Yeah. That's better. Okay. And that's what I want. That's perfect for me. Now remember, you're creating this journal yourself. I don't call my journals junk journals because, as I stated before, I have issues with that word junk. I have issues with using junk. And so I just call it a journal. Sometimes I add things to it, like today, I guess this will be classified, could be classified, I guess, as a junk journal because I put those extra pages. I don't know. I really don't concern myself with it. I just create what I like. And that's what I like, so that's what I do. All right, so I got a needle, I got the thread, and so the only thing I do, there's no rhyme, no reason. I take this little piercing pad, and I put my book on there. I use this piercing tool, and I'm going to make 3 holes to hold this in. And that's all I'm going to do for my binding, okay? So it's not that hard. You want to make sure it goes all the way through all of your pages. Okay? If you could see, I could see straight through that hole to the bottom, so I know that it's bound. Okay? Do the same thing in the middle. Okay? And then you're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Okay? All right. Then you're just going to simply take your thread. I go through the middle. Bring it out. I like to have a little twist thing in the closure in the inside of my journal. So this is why I go this way. So I go out and then I come back in on this hole. Okay. Try to keep your papers neat. Pull it tight as you can. Right. Okay. You want to leave this in the middle because this is what you're going to tie it with. So now I'm going to come down here and go through this bottom hole. Pull it through. Okay, that's kind of loose. I want to make sure that's tight. So now I'm going to go back over here. Okay. Make sure everything is tight. Now, I'm going back in the middle hole. A second time. And we're almost done. Okay. There we go. My hands is slippery, you all, because they were so dry that I had to, let me see if I could pull this down. I had to lubricate them before I got on camera because they was dry and they were burning. And now my hands is slippery. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Because usually I don't have a hard time pulling my needle through. But let's see. Oh, my hands is slippery. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is how it looks on the outside. This is how it looks on the inside. So now all I want to do is cut, and then I'm going to tie. Now when I tie them, I twist it. I tie a knot. And make sure I got all the threads right. Okay, so it's separate, right? I take it and cross it over. I tie a knot in the middle. I turn it and I tie a second knot. Okay? And then you have what I call is your little wings left. You cut them short as you want them, long as you want them. All right? And this is the journal. Now, what I'm going to do next is close my pockets down, right? And I'm going to use a little bit of this Beacons 3-in-1 to close my pockets down. And all I'm doing is putting a little beacons on the edge, right? Gluing that together, right? Okay. Only thing you're doing, do the same thing for this side. Put a little bit of my beacons. You can use whatever you want to use. I'm a Beacons girl. That's my go-to adhesive. I love liquid adhesive. Beacons is my favorite. There it is. Okay. So now I got my 2 pockets right there in the centerfold. Right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, I love my edges to be round. Now, you can do this step before. I did not do it, but that's fine because it's never too late, right? So you just simply going through and you rounding the edges. I love rounded edges. To me, it's the best. And it makes your journals look complete. Okay? In my opinion. But you do what you want to do for your journal. So now I'm challenging you all to start memory keeping. I know a lot of my subscribers are crafters and they make projects. I have a lot of people that's card makers. But leave some memories behind for your loved ones, your friends. And so start journaling. Get you some paper. It don't have to be nothing fancy that you like. You saw how easy it was for me to bind it together. Make you a journal. It does not have to be this size. It could be a smaller size. It could be the pocket size. It could be whatever you want. But start memory keeping. Okay? I simply love it myself. I'm going to go ahead and I'm even do my little folder pockets. Okay. This corner rounder is so old. It's from Creative Memories, when I was a consultant with them, and I love it. All right. So, if you got a crocodile, there's a crocodile out with 2 different sizes of corner rounders on those as well. You could use that. Those are a different size. But I like this size right here. This is like a standard size corner rounder. All right. So we almost finished with this. And I could start my journaling. Again, this winter journal is going to be of the vintage style, right? It's going to be a warm winter journal. You can make your journal what you want to make it. Okay? Last page. All right, y'all. So this is my journal. Okay? All right. The next thing I want to do is go ahead on and I'm going to put my title on here. And then we finish. This is my winter journal for 2020. And I am excited about it. Okay. Let's title this journal. I do try to put extra adhesive on my stuff, even if it does have even if it do have, I'm just gonna put winter right here. Even if it does already have adhesive on the back, I like to reinforce my stuff. Okay. All right. Now, you all watch what I'm doing right here. This was a I, a L, a lowercase L, but I'm making it into an I because I didn't have no more I's on this set of letters. And I need to get rid of this. I'm trying to use up everything that's been sitting around my craft room for ages. It's time to get rid of it. It's time to use it or toss it. And so I have to do what I have to do. And I challenge you to do the same. Try to use up what you have. And then that you just simply can't use or whatever, like letters. Once you finish using up all your letters, that you can't use them no more, what's left, go ahead on and get rid of it. Why are we holding on to stuff? Well, maybe I'm the only one that do that. But honey, this is one of the things that I'm trying to avoid and stop doing. Get rid of, use it or lose it. That's my thing. If I'm not going to use it, I need to get rid of it. I need to get it up out this craft room. That's only making room for the next thing. If you never make room for something new, then how could you fit it in? I'm just saying. I want new stuff. And I refuse to go diving and buying stuff and I ain't using what I got already. Just didn't make sense to me. But this is like year number 4, you all, that I've been using my stash. I got to go back and count. But if I'm not mistaken, this is going on year number 4 that I've been using stuff out of my room that I already had. When I say not buying nothing, all I had to buy was adhesive. I ran out of adhesive. I will replenish that. But other than that, I've been using, for all the stuff that I've been doing, I've been using what's in my room. And it's a good feeling to use up what you have and to see things get to the bottom. You know, a paper pad, and you finally get to the bottom of the paper pad. I'm telling you, it feels good to me. I don't know about nobody else. All right, so y'all, here you go, winter. And I'm going to put 2020 on there. I don't know what I'm going to use for my 2020 yet. But this is the start. It say winter. I might stamp 2020 or I might use some other alphas for 2020. But guess what? This is the start. This is the beginning. Please come join me in journaling this year. Whatever type of journal you want to do. You want to do art journaling. You want to do, word journaling, where you take one word and you build on that word. It's different ways to express yourself. It's different ways to journal. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, any concerns. Tell me what you think about my winter journal and the warmth that I feel that it's going to bring to my life. All right, y'all. Till next time, stay blessed and keep creating.